introduce motion, and again, I have motion open here, and first start off by dealing with text. One very basic piece of information that we regularly apply to our video projects is text. And the way in which text appears in many of the videos is kind of boring. Final Cut has all kinds of great templates and ways in which to apply some movement to text and make it a little bit more attractive. But if you really want to get creative and really control and get detailed with your text, motion is a great way to do that and design your own moving text or much more attractive text is right here in motion. So I'm going to click the text tool to get started and click in my workspace. And I'm going to start off by just using my name as the basic font or text. And I'm going to go change this size a little bit. It's a little bit large. What you'll notice is under the text tab, under the inspector, you can come over to format and change the font size and or font. And there's also a whole bunch of styles you can choose from and just apply a generic style that they've already created for you. And for any one of those styles, you can then go through the Style tab and change colors and glow and some other little bit more key characteristics for that given font. In my case, I just took down the font. I think I'm going to take this down to, well, we'll take it down to 30 here. Just so I can see the size of this. And I accidentally had this selected, so 30 showed up over here. All right. One additional place you should be aware of in text format button, under the text format button, is the fact that there's a text box at the bottom for where you can enter larger pieces of text information. In this case, I'm not actually going to enter larger pieces of text. I'm just going to copy and paste my name over and over again, so it ends up a little bit larger. And the text now on the screen reflects that. So if I come up here and grab this, you can see that now my name repeats itself over and over again. I'm just going to hit Fit Screen so I can see the edges of my screen and drag that out into the middle of my screen. So I now have a line of text. Now, what I'd like to get into is controlling the way in which this text flows and also the way in which we get it to move. So getting started here, I currently have a very straight, basic line of text, which actually will mirror some of your return characteristics that you put down into the text window down below. So again, it's very basic and it looks like written text. It's not really set up for motion, and its pathway is not very interesting. So let's add a little bit of interest to this and tweak the line of text we currently are dealing with. So as we mentioned, text format and text style is already here with two buttons. The layout button applies a little additional information. Under the line, under the text layout selection, there is type, which keeps you or provides you this ability for your text to look like it did when you typed it. Same thing with paragraph, is very similar. But where it gets a little interesting is when you come down to text path. So if you put your text onto a path, and now when I come over and double click on my text, there's this light white line underneath my text, my line of text. There are also 3 control handles by default put onto this line of text, which allow you to bend and shape this line of text. An additional way to get a little more detail into that line of text is by holding down the Option button, and when you come across your path, you can actually add extra control points. So the 3 that you originally start with is not your limitation. You can add as many as you want, but again, you now have some additional control handles here to start moving around and creating or manipulating the line of path as you wish. So in this case, I have a funky little wave going on. On top of that little wave that's being created, if you click one of those, you can also control the way in which the line comes into and out of that control point so you can edit it a little bit. And then on top of that, one more final control is if you right click, you can have the option of making it linear. So it'll be a sharp line in and out, so you have more of a sharp corner than you have a smooth curve. So again, some very basic options as to putting your text on a pathway. One area that I see this being done, or could be done, is putting this along a horizon line. In this case, a mountainous horizon. Maybe you want to follow the peaks of that mountain and put some text flowing across it. Again, that's one of your options. And or following the outline of anything in a image or a video clip, and you want to put your text on top of it. Again, this is one way in which you can go about doing so. So that's putting text on a path. In the next video, we'll talk about putting this text, taking this text which is on a path and adding some movement to it so it scrolls or moves through your piece of motion graphic or motion text in this case.